Hello. Welcome back to another episode of The Family Fortune. I am so excited because with us today we have, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. That's your cue.
Yes. So I'm Sharmori Lewis. You can call me Shay for short. I am the Community Outreach Specialist for Senior Medicare Patrol, shortened as SMP.
Okay. And what is that?
So SMP, or Senior Medicare Patrol, it is a nonprofit organization that empowers and educates senior Medicare beneficiaries, caregivers, and family members on Medicare fraud, errors, and abuse.
Okay. So I know we met at a healthcare networking event, and the topic or what you specifically do or what your company specifically does intrigued me so much. I was like, we got to get you on the podcast. We got to get you on the podcast. So one of the things that I had to look up, because if people are like me and it gets stuck in my head, even though I know the difference, what's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid? If you can answer that one.
Okay. So how we normally break it down to people, of course, Medicare is when you are at the age of 64 and a half, you normally get a wonderful little email or a piece of mail saying, welcome to Medicare. And those are the insurance.
It's not an option?
So you have an option. It's based on you, but normally they'll try to enroll you into it. So once open enrollment happens, that's the month of October. So open enrollment is from October all the way through December. And that would give you the option to choose which insurance is best for you.
Okay.
Now, we normally tell people whatever insurance that you do choose is best for you to go to the Georgia SHIP representative or a coordinator.
Okay.
And if you're already on it, then you would definitely have a conversation or like a counseling session with them. You'll compare your options and see what's best, and you go from there.
Okay.
Now, with Medicaid, we normally say, how I remember is children can also be on Medicaid, not on Medicare. Yeah. So it's the difference.
So yeah, how I differentiate the difference between in my head is Medicaid is more of the insurance piece of it. Is that the one with the A and B, or is that Medicare?
That's Medicare.
Okay. So right. So Medicaid is the insurance piece, and Medicare is the care you can get once you
turn 65 and up.
Do you have to be a part of assisted living or in senior living home, or you can use it at a regular doctor, regular facility?
You can use it at a regular doctor's office.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So at the doctor's office, at the pharmacy, you can use it anytime.
Okay. So I know that there are some issues and concerns with the new administrating cutting things, but we're going to come back to that because I know that's going to be a big topic.
That's a lot.
So let's talk about Medicare, some of the abuse. What people, what are the typical abuse that people can see, not just against the person, but from, against the entity itself. Like is there any kind of abuse that the doctors, nurses, facilities do to the person receiving care, and is there also sort of abuse the other way around?
Yes. Okay. So that's a broad topic in itself. So I'll break down to you what we normally tell our seniors at senior centers. So Medicare loses up to 60 to 90 billion. That's billions with a B. $1 billion each year due to fraud. So a lot of people don't understand when we say to them, or even some of their family members ask them, well, do you read your statements? Do you know what you're looking at? Correct. A lot of times I've heard so many times 3 different things that people will tell me. They either say, I don't know how to read it because the jargon is just too much.
I can attest to that.
A lot of times they don't understand the medical terminology. Yeah. Most of the time they don't. A lot of times people think of it as spam mail.
No. Yeah.
And then you got some people that say it's just trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those 3 things are normally the main ones that you hear all the time. And for us, we try our best to say to them, we have a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
We show you how to actually understand and read your statements. It's normally just a sample one, but I tell people if you want to bring your own, you're welcome to do so. But there is a difference between the two statements. So there's an MSN, as we call it, a Medicare summary notice.
Okay.
And then there's the explanation of benefits, as we call it, an EOB.
I've heard of those.
Yes.
Yes.
So a lot of times we tell people the difference between the two. Your MSN is going to be the one if you're on original Medicare,
Mm-hmm.
as we call it, OG Medicare.
Okay.
When you have an explanation of benefit, an EOB, that's when you are on a Medicare Advantage plan. So a lot of times when people say, well, I have Humana, or if I have WellStar or whatever, you have a Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yeah. So those are the ones that you're going to keep in mind. Now,
Mhm.
there is a difference between the two. However, both documents have the same information in terms of you knowing, checking out your name, your Medicare number, making sure the date of service is correct, making sure the facility, that the name of it, even down to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
is correct. We want to make sure that everybody is very much aware of what they're looking at on their Medicare summary notices.
Okay.
Normally, the 3 scams that we normally hear from, and a lot of times other people hear too, one is the grandparent scam.
I know that one. We talked about that one before.
Everybody hears about it.
Mhm.
The one of like, oh, so-and-so called, my grandchild called.
Mm-hmm.
That one is totally a scam.
I always tell them, don't pick up the phone. But you can't tell people don't
Yeah.
pick up the phone.
You can't tell them, but we normally encourage them to either hang up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
We also, another piece that we tell them too, Medicare will never call you.
Really?
They will never call you. They will never text you. They'll never email you. They will never, ever
It would
call
always
you.
come in the mail?
It will always come in the mail.
Wow. Did I hear that
Unless
right?
you have a Medicare.gov portal for
Okay.
you to see your MSNs or your EOBs, they will never call you.
Never call you.
Never call you. So I know a lot of people are like, well, I got a text message. Mm-mm.
See, a phone call I can understand, people falling for. Text message?
You have some, and you'll be surprised what some scammers do.
No, I'm not.
You'll be very surprised. There's different types of scammers, and we talk about it too, from your typical ones that do the customer service
Mhm.
version, from some doing dumpster diving.
Oh, yeah.
In their mind, again, with that MSN or your Medicare
You
summary
got to be
notices,
desperate to dumpster dive.
very
I'm
much
sorry.
so.
And that's exactly what it sounds like.
You're
You're diving into the dumpster and trash to pull out personal data. So that's why they say shred it.
right. And a
Mhm.
lot of times, some of our seniors, they don't know. They don't
Mhm.
own a shredder. So I normally tell them, please go to their local UPS,
Mhm.
because there is a trash can in the inside that has a lock on it. They work with the company, and you can actually shred it, and you'll have to pay like probably how much the weight is of it.
Mhm.
But after that, you're good to go.
Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip side of that,
Mm-hmm.
what are so it wouldn't necessarily be called fraud, but it may be abuse and errors, and that's when the system itself,
Correct.
overcharges or what have you.
Yes. So a lot of times we express to people, when you are looking at your statements, you need to check for specific things.
Mhm.
Of course, you want to check for the inaccuracies, and of course, your name, your Medicare number, because sometimes it can happen. We also tell people check out for the double billing.
Mhm.
A lot of times we have millennials like myself, or even Gen Z, that work in the medical field
Mhm.
that is a part of the health coding system. Sometimes a simple wellness check could be coded as 001 and accidentally typed in 100. Could be a simple mistake,
Mhm.
but a lot of times you want to make sure that you are checking for that. And sometimes you just want to make sure, because certain things could be classified as one thing, and you're like, I only went for the doctor for this thing.
Mhm.
So we tell people, please call your provider first. Call them respectfully. Don't curse them out. Just call them, and just inquire what's going on and figure out what's the issue.
Now, I know that the law changed. I don't know how long ago. It hasn't been that long, where there's supposed to be more transparency because of the fact that who knows what a 001 code is and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Is Is that still in effect? Because, it's hard to tell these days what,
If I'm not
you know
mistaken,
who.
it's still in effect,
Mhm.
and you have to be able to give a description. So I think that's why you see now the description under the statements
Okay.
to clarify what it is. Because no disrespect, but if you have a statement that comes in and you see something that says INVF, and you're like, what is that? And you look it up online, you're like, I still don't know what that is. Technically, it's an influenza shot, but you have to make sure that that's exactly what it's classified for.
Mm.
So they have to indicate like what it is, and under each description, classify what it is. They may not give you the code, but you have to be able to break it down and express what it is.
And I know that the medical field was complaining. They complained a lot about that,
Yes.
and hoping to change that.
Mm-hmm.
It has not happened yet, I don't think. I'm pretty sure, but who
Okay.
knows with this new administration what's exactly going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else can you tell us about the fraud and stuff?
Sure. So I'll just start with SMP itself. So I love to tell people that SMP is located in all 50 states.
Mm.
That is including Guam, Mexico, U.S. Virgin Islands. So if you happen to have any concerns, any questions, you can at least be able to reach out to your local SMP as much as possible.
Okay.
We also tell people that we are not an insurance company. We get it all the time. We are here as a free service to provide. I work for the CSRA.
Let me reiterate that. She said free service.
Free. And I know a lot of times people are like, nothing in life is free. This is free. This is a free service. We do not charge you. We go out into the community and we do educational presentations.
Okay.
And we also go out to community facilities. So it may be like a health expo, a resource center, anything like that. And we go out and we educate as many people as possible. Because a lot of people just assume that the service is strictly for seniors. But again, within our mission as caregivers and family members.
Right.
Because again, some of those beneficiaries may not be able to actually articulate what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, again, advocate for yourself. And if you have a support system or anything like that, that's where the caregivers and the family members kick in.
Right. Now, is there a system in place besides your office where if they detect or suspect that there has been fraud and abuse, besides contacting, first to contact their provider, and if that doesn't work, what else?
We normally say to people, if you get that butterfly feeling or you're just like, this is just not working for me, or if you just don't feel comfortable with what your provider told you, we love to tell people, please contact our hot free line. It is 877-272-8720.
And that's, say it again, the hotline
number is 877-272-8720.
Contact them if you suspect. And could they also, what's some good contact information to set up time for you to come talk to them or sit down with you to help explain?
So I'm always traveling within the state of Georgia. Of course, as we know, Georgia has 159 counties. So we are making our way around.
Is it just you?
No, it's me and a few of my other counterparts. So we have two individuals that take care of Fulton County, because Fulton County is very large.
Yeah.
So we have somebody that's taking care of North Georgia, closer to that Tennessee line. We have somebody that takes care of the Savannah area. And we now just hired somebody in January to take care of like West Georgia. So more so like Albany, getting closer to the Alabama area.
Gotcha.
So we're trying our best to,
you
reach out.
cover
I cover
everything
CSRA. So like that good chunk of Columbia County, Richmond County, from Telefarro County to Warren.
Wow.
Everything you could think of.
Okay. Now I'm sorry I cut you off.
You're good.
How to get in touch with you?
You're good. So to get in touch with me, you can shoot me an email at slewis, LEWIS, @advise. So I'll spell it for you, ADVISEWELL.org.
So
slewis @advisewell.org.
I'm sitting here like
It's real short and sweet, real simple. And if you are still interested in, if you're not able to get in contact with me, you can also call that toll-free hotline number as well. That's 272-8720.
Okay.
And you can follow us on Facebook as well. We have lots of information from our webinar Wednesdays, which is our virtual educational presentations, all the way up to virtual bingo.
Awesome.
And you can follow us at Georgia, spelled all the way out, Senior Medicare Patrol.
And that's the Facebook
That's the Facebook page.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Any parting words before we go? Like anything you just want to put out there?
I would tell you, please be an advocate for yourself at all times. If you have any questions, no
Awesome.
question is considered a dumb question. You want to make sure that you are safe. All of your benefits are in good usage for yourself, because that's what it's for. You worked hard enough to reach this age and to actually utilize it. You don't want it to go to the waste. So again, be an advocate and ask questions.
Awesome. Thank you so very much
Thank
for coming
you.
in. This is some great information. And until we come back again, I'm LaShawna.
I'm Sharmori.
And this is the Family Fortune. Goodbye.
Bye.